2017 was a deer season I'll never forget. Being blessed enough to put all three of my target bucks on the ground.
Third big buck on the ground.
And ending a 4-year journey on a deer called Longhorn made 2017 feel almost unreal. Heading into the 2018 deer season, I really didn't know what to think. My thought process was going to be a bit different. I didn't have a specific buck I wanted to target, so I told myself I was going to sit back and shoot the first mature buck that walked by. However, that was all about to change. For those of you that know me, you know that when I get a certain buck in my head, well, I just can't seem to get him out. And when the first round of Spartan trail camera pictures would start rolling in, my obsession would begin, as a giant, typical 6x7 would come in to get himself some Big and J. At first, I had no clue what deer this was, thinking that he was probably a deer that moved in last winter and decided to stick around. However, when he started to grow a little bit more, I soon realized just what buck it was. 2 years prior, in the spring of 2016, I found a big 6-point side while shed hunting, but had never seen or gotten pictures of the deer. But now, here he was, showing up almost daily on the trail cameras. At this time, my mind was on one thing and one thing only: figure out how to kill this deer. I was guessing my best chances would probably be early season or later in the year, since the deer had never lived on my farm in the past. I also knew food was probably going to be my friend, since I had the only cornfield in the area, but I didn't think that was going to be enough. I needed a good food source closer to his bedroom to make him feel safe coming out in daylight. So I came up with a good mix from green cover seed that I thought would be good throughout the entire season. It's now mid-September and the stage is set. However, the deer we are now calling Epic is no longer showing up on the trail cameras. After hunting him hard for the first couple weeks of season and passing on some great other bucks, I decided to switch my attention to hunting Nebraska and just play the waiting game with Epic. After almost killing a couple different great bucks with my bow in Nebraska, I headed out west with my buddy Craig Gilkey and was finally able to put down a good buck with my grandpa's old 243. It felt good to finally have a deer on the ground, but now my full attention was going to be back on trying to figure out how to kill this buck we call Epic. It had now been over a month since I had gotten his picture. I had no idea if he was alive or even anywhere near my property. But then, one evening, everything changed when my phone went off with a notification from my Spartan trail camera app. Epic was back. He had found my food plot, and I knew he was now here to stay. With only a few short days until the Kansas rifle season, I went out to hunt Epic with my bow a few more times. Unfortunately, he would never show up, and yet again I would pass some great bucks, including one of the biggest 7-pointers I've ever seen while hunting. Rifle season was now open, and with the area having a decent amount of hunting pressure, I decided it was time to break out the gun. Being limited on winds and how I could hunt my food plot, I placed a blind about 160 yards off the plot so that I could hunt it with any wind. It was now a waiting game. My patience were starting to wear thin as day after day went by without seeing Epic. I would even miss him by a few minutes more than once, even having him walk by the camera as I was getting in my truck one evening to leave. With a couple days of warm weather moving in, I decided it was time to give Epic a break. Looking at the forecast, I had a feeling December the 6th would be the day. A cold front was moving in after 3 days of warm weather, and this time of year, that can be deadly. I got in the blind about 2 p.m. Deer were on their feet early, and I just knew that at any second, Epic was going to walk out. At 4:45 p.m., after texting my wife that I had a feeling he was going to show, I looked up, and the moment I had dreamed of was finally here. Epic was walking into the food plot. Alrighty guys, it is December the 6th, and took a break for a couple of days hunting this deer we call Epic. Still after him. I even switched guns tonight. I've got another one of my grandpa's old guns. This is a 270 Weatherby that he's got some hand-loaded Hornady ammunition for. be kind of cool to shoot a deer with one of his hand loads. I shot it today, and man, I tell you what, this thing is a tack driver. So hopefully this little thing maybe can bring me some luck. Kind of thought to myself today, you know, I already killed a deer this year with his old 243. Maybe I should grab another one of his guns. Never shot a deer with this thing. Kind of thought to myself, you know, it'd be cool to kill a deer with each one of his old guns. So we got the 270 Weatherby with me tonight. This thing packs a wallop, so maybe we can put him down and just drop him in his tracks tonight. That would be awesome. But he's still been on the camera, but not in the daylight, hardly at all. He's basically been showing up sometime between 30 minutes after dark or a lot in the middle of the night, but he is still here. However, we have had some warmer weather the last couple days that I haven't hunted, and today it's in the upper 20s, the sun's shining, a lot of the snow is melted, so it could be a good day. It's a little bit colder than it has been the last couple days. Wind's absolutely perfect. I just keep praying, you know, being persistent here and being patient with this deer. It's going to pay off eventually. We've got a couple more days here, gun season, and then I'm going to have to get back after him with a bow. Still going to kind of play it safe with a gun as far as sitting back off. I don't want to get too aggressive yet, but when bow season starts back up, if I haven't killed him with a gun yet, I'm probably going to get a little bit of aggressive and try to get down in the timber and get after him, which is going to be difficult considering how many deer bed just inside the timber. I might have to kind of come in from a different direction, so we will see what happens. Hopefully tonight's the night and we can finally end the story of Epic and put this deer on the ground. Guys, we just put Epic on the ground. I have no idea what is going on, what happened, but I think I missed the first time. I think I missed the first shot. I have no idea what happened. I just shot this gun today and shot it good, but luckily he didn't run too far. And I got a second shot and dropped him on the second one. I think he's done for, so we got Epic. We're gonna go get him here in just a second, guys. I can't believe it. Shot him with one of my grandpa's guns. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. This is absolutely unbelievable. We finally put Epic on the ground. Yes!
The excitement of seeing Epic hit the ground would be short-lived. After thinking he was dead, I headed back to my truck to grab a couple things. When I returned, Epic was gone. He had somehow made it off the food plot. Not knowing what had happened, I decided to back out and wait until the next morning to go after him.
Going?
Yep.
Well guys, it's the next morning. Shot Epic last night. I actually grabbed my Henry 44 this morning so that I could shoot through some brush in case we got on him. We didn't film a ton of stuff this morning just because we were trying to figure out exactly what happened. We lost blood clear. We're actually on the neighboring property. I called and got permission to be over here to find him. But we found where he bedded in some cedars on our place. And all of a sudden after that, there was pretty fresh blood in the snow. So we thought maybe we bumped him, and we started out across our cornfield, and he was just paralleling the fence to the neighbors, and he couldn't cross it. And we crested the hill, and there he was. Whitney had the camera in the bag, and that's what I told her to do, so we didn't get any of that stuff on film. But I pulled up and shot. I hit him that time, but he jumped the fence, got over here on the neighbors, and we couldn't find him again, but we got blood. I hit him pretty good that second shot, got on blood. Made it all the way around here, and he was standing down here in the creek and he couldn't move, so I put one more finishing shot on him. I'm excited because this is probably one of my biggest deer ever, but at the same time, this is probably the worst experience I've ever had hunting. It's very humbling that stuff like this happens. I thank God that we were able to get him and put him out of his misery, but man, definitely an experience I won't forget. And every time I look at this deer on the wall and every time I eat some of his meat, definitely gonna be a crazy memory and a humbling one. So we're gonna go put our hands on him over here. Finally, the story of Epic ends. It was a drama-filled story trying to kill him, and the drama did not end. Finally putting him on the ground. So let's go put our hands on him. Well guys, there he lays. He's laying in the dang water. What a deer, man. Lay this up here out of the way. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry it had to be like this. Oh my gosh.
Oh. He's not little.
Whitney, I think this is my biggest deer ever.
I wouldn't doubt.
Oh my gosh, man. Final shot, finally put him down right there at the 44. Guys, what is this thing? Whitney.
I don't even know what to say.
This is probably the worst post-recovery we've ever done, but
Real life.
guys, I'm sorry I get so dang emotional with these deer, but these things mean so much to me. I have so much respect for these animals. I truly think this deer's 7 years old. He has got away from hunters, he's got away from predators, he's got away from disease, he's got away from cold weather, he's got away from everything that you can imagine.
Almost got away from us.
Almost got away from us, yeah, for 7 years. And I hate that I had to make this deer suffer. I hate that so much. But I thank God so much that he allowed me to, get a final good shot on him and put him down. This is definitely a day I'm never gonna forget. This deer is unbelievable. Like, he's bigger than I thought. I'm trying to wash some of this off his rack. Jeez, guys, this thing is just crazy. Alright, guys. I'm sorry, this is probably a terrible recovery, but I'm full of all kinds of mixed emotions right now. I can see where I broke his spine right here. That's where it dropped. I mean, I'm aiming down here at his heart, so that's 10 inches high at least, if not farther. And when you're in the moment, you're trying to figure out what's going on, and I just didn't realize, I was freaking out a little bit, and didn't realize that I was shooting so high. But I was. Definitely not what I wanted to do by any means. This might be my biggest deer ever, though. And it's one I'm never gonna forget. This deer has meant so much to me. I have hardly any history with him other than one shed and trail camera pictures this year. That's it. And we were able to put him on the ground. Jeremy called him Epic. Jeremy from Big and J. That's what we've been calling him. He is so awesome, so heavy and massive, and just, I feel so bad that it had to go down like this, but I thank God so much that he was able to let me right my wrongs and put him on the ground. So definitely one I'm never gonna forget.